Underwood. When did your fascination start with the paranormal? Was it in childhood?
Well, yes, it was. It so happened that my grandparents lived in a haunted house, and my grandparents were farming people, and the farm, of course, was a great attraction to me as a boy, and I used to spend a lot of my summer holidays with my grandparents. They farmed at Rose Hall near Rickmansworth in Hertfordshire, and Rose Hall was reputed to be haunted. I can well remember staying with my grandparents, be it 9 or 10 perhaps, and people would come to the door and ask whether they could see the haunted room and hear the ghost story, because the ghost story was published in a book with the name of the house which was published. Very briefly, the story was that a traveller was on his way north when the storm became so bad that he decided to try and put up for the night, and he went to the nearest large house which you could see, which happened to be Rose Hall, and they welcomed him in, showed him into a room where there was a large 4-poster bed, and during the night he saw this figure which other people had previously seen. And I can remember my grandmother seeing someone walking up the path, a stranger. Incidentally, my grandmother used to say that she'd had 8 children and been up at all hours of the day and night, never seen anything worse than herself. But she'd see this stranger and she'd say, "Here's somebody else, Peter, show them the room and tell them the story and get rid of them," which I did.
Did you ever see anything yourself?
Nothing at all. No, nor did they. No, my grandparents. But I would show the room and tell the story to these people, and very much tongue-in-cheek, that real grown-up people could believe this sort of thing. But very often, by the time I'd finished, they'd say, "Well, we're not surprised, because we've got a ghost." And as I grew older, I began to think that perhaps there was a little bit more in this than I'd at first thought.
Yes, I mean, children traditionally love being scared witless
That's
by
right.
things that go bump in the night, but it doesn't often sustain into adulthood. Why was that the case with you, that it did, this fascination?
Well, I don't know, except that, as I say, I had this experience when I was very young, and so always my mind was open to the possibility that there were such things. And as I grew older, I just simply became more and more interested, because at a very early age it seemed to me that some people did have these experiences.
How did you pursue it when you were, say, going through school, college, university, whatever? How did you actually think about pursuing it as a career, if you did then?
Well, no, I didn't. No. It was always a sort of hobby, a sort of sideline. I was always interested in writing, always wanted to be a writer, and but I was always interested in this possibility, which is one of those things. I mean, everyone has some sort of interest. I was always interested in the paranormal, and as I grew older, I joined the various organisations and societies, and it's gone on from there, really.